Hey, welcome back to DIY Willy, and today, well, we're gonna work back on the 224 Mega Moto mini bike. I saw a video on Kentucky Fried Fixin', and I'll leave a link to his channel in the description. And what he had done is he had taken a Predator Hemi head and put it on the Predator 224 engine. I've always wanted a Hemi engine. I can't get those here in California. I have heard though that sometimes you find a Hemi or mixed up with the regular engine in the box. I've heard that mistake has happened, and I feel like going to Harbor Freight right now and checking every box to see if I could find a Hemi, but you know, they didn't sell those here in California. I could have made a road trip over to Arizona or up to Vegas or something and picked up a Hemi, but I never got around to it. And when I saw Kentucky Fried Fixin's video, man, I knew that was what I needed to do. So I went and picked up a head off eBay. It came with some miscellaneous parts, you know, and a lot of packing. We'll just put that stuff aside. And it came with the Hemi push rods, which we'll need. And of course, the Hemi head. And has a spark plug in it. It's got the springs in it already. It's got the regular retainers, the push rods we already saw, and the rockers are down in here too. So it pretty much has everything I need to turn my 224 into a Hemi. Now, I'm not a regular engine builder. You know, I don't do this often. You know, I may not always get it right with the parts, and it takes me some time and duplicates and just experimenting to get the right parts. Like when I built the 212 for Mighty, the other mini bike with the swing arm, like I bought the wrong rod, and I had to do a lot of DIY machining to get that rod to fit the crank on the 212. I believe that rod came from a clone engine, and when I bought it, I assumed, what is a Predator? It's a clone, right? But I guess they are two different things. The rod did not fit. When I put the rod on the crank and torqued everything down, it wouldn't turn. And maybe I'll leave a link to that video also in the description, talking about what I did to fix that. What I did was spend a good portion of a day with fine sandpaper and some measuring tools to measure out the diameter of the crank and the rod, and I sanded the hell out of that rod until it turned on the crank. Now, probably those bearings are going to be too thin to last very long, but I mean, that was a good couple of years ago, and we've ran the hell out of that engine since, and I haven't had any issues with it. When I rebuild that engine again, I will use the correct rod, and I'll hang the other one up as a trophy piece, I guess. But yeah, this is my next adventure. See about putting a Hemi head on my 224, and I'll have a custom hybrid Predator 224 Hemi. I don't know if there's too many out there in the world, but I know of at least one. Now, I know people are like, Willy, why do you want to do that? You can produce so much more power with the regular style head. And yeah, I know this hemisphere dished chamber, combustion chamber on these heads is going to lower my compression a little bit. Now, this head has been milled to it's been milled, I think it's 0.035, so what was that, 35 thousandths? So that will up the compression a little bit. And I do have some stainless steel valves that get rid of the dished portion of the valve, so that'll help just that little bit much more. And well, I really don't care. I just want to have a Hemi 224 on my mini bike, and this is the way I get to do it, because they're not going to build a Hemi version of this engine as far as I know. I'll be fine with my Hemi version. I think it's gonna look good. I'm gonna go ahead and paint stuff up on it, like I'll paint the valve cover black, much like it is on the other engine. With that said, I think we'll get over there and get the engine out, get it broke open, and I think I'll take the head off. This one, it does have some metal shavings in it. It has been milled, so I'm gonna have to wash it up real good and make sure I get all the metal shavings out of it. And I got stainless steel valves to go in it. I got to put the other type of keepers. What else could there be? We'll break the engine down, and we'll fix the in-play. We'll install the cam, and then we'll work with the head. What do you say, huh? All right, let's get going. You know, before we get started tearing it all apart, let's take it for another ride. What do you say, right? All right, get the old Ryobi out here, plug it in, turn on the choke, turn on the gas, make sure the ignition's on, let it rip. Let's go. That's fun. So everybody's seen all these Predator engines and actually any engine be taken apart. This one's no different. It's got a couple different parts in it, being the electric start that I installed on my last video on this engine, and there'll be a link in the description for that too. And those damn birds. Listen to those birds. Anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and break it down right now, and we'll get a closer look at all the parts we're gonna change. Now, I've done a few things different. Like, I've added this air filter instead of the other style. I just wanted to see if it would work better, and I think it does. It might lean it out a little bit. I may have to jet the carburetor, but we can do that. We can always go one size up. Noisy car, man. Take these 10mm acorn nuts off, and we got a couple hoses in the back we'll take off. Like that. This is the charcoal canister hose. I don't think that'll be going back on. And then this, of course, is the breather hose, and these parts should come off just like that. Now we've exposed the carburetor, and let's get the spark plug out of the way. We've got this vent line for the gas tank that goes down to the charcoal canister. We're going to rework all of that. I'm not really building a race engine, so to speak, but we don't need that charcoal canister. So I'm going to get the exhaust off, and I'll get back with you. Alright guys, so we've got the engine broke down. I still need to drain the oil, and we're going to get inside and check out for the in-play, and see if we can't get some of that to stop. It looks funny to see the mini bike, the Mega Moto mini bike again without an engine. It seems like we do a lot of work like that, take the engine in and out from the 79cc up here to the 224, but it'll go back in. We'll get it back together. It'd be a shame if I couldn't get this one back together and I had to go buy another one, right? Well, not really. This one will be fine. Yeah, I took the gas tank off. Forgot I have quite a bit of gas in there. I didn't drain it. Learned this trick with the choke arm from Fat Buddy Cat. That always helps out. Now the tank won't drain, I can drain it later. So yeah, I got a box over there of hardware, got the clutch, and my whole row of parts that I need now to find a box for. Oh, there was one thing that I didn't know, and I had this charging coil in there, and the way that I had routed the wire, it broke. Look at that. And I don't see any signs of arcing, so I don't think it was arcing out on the block, but it definitely got pinched in the starter somewhere against the case and the starter and broke the wires. I don't see any signs of it burning or anything on this, but I'm not going to put the charging coil back in because we're not using it with that 18-volt system. And the 18 volts, if I do decide to put lights on it, will power the starter and the lights, no problem, without these charging coils. So I'll keep this one. I can probably fix the wire and re-insulate it. The hardware, since I have the exact hardware for the coils, I went ahead and just taped them on so I don't lose that particular hardware. I did the same thing for the hardware for the starter. I just kind of taped them in place with the shield, and that way I keep the hardware and the specific parts together. The rest of it's pretty simple, and it doesn't really matter. A lot of it's the same type of hardware. Do notice there's a lot of black in there. Looks like it's running rich. I don't know, it's from the factory right out of the box. Maybe that's just my imagination, but it looks like it's pretty black. We'll look into that too. I plan on modifying the red fan shroud that came with the engine to accommodate for the electric start mod I did to it, and I'll take the electric start box off of this and put it on the other one. I'll have to weld it on. And then I found some paint that's pretty similar to that red. It's a little bit more orangey, but it's pretty close, and it's flat or matte. So I'll repaint the other fan shroud when I get it done, and I will paint the clutch cover the same color. So I guess that's as far as I can go today. I got to get ready to go to work, but I'll get back out here tomorrow, and we'll get the side cover off. We'll take a look at that cam. You know what? Let me get that cam. All right, so I got the cam. And I don't know if this is gonna work. I've heard other people say that it's the Hemi cam that fits this style of engine, this Gokarts block. I don't know. It wasn't expensive. It was like 14 bucks on eBay. It's the stock cam. It is not a performance cam, and it's got the metal gear on it. So I'll replace the plastic gear with this one. Hopefully the lobes and everything are in about the same position. The same lift or duration, or at least somewhere close. You know, it's got the compression release in it. It's a new cam. eBay has been my savior for parts right now. I doubt people look for these stock cams that often. You know, everybody's after the performance stuff. So I bought this one, and we're gonna put it in this engine. Get rid of that plastic cam. It may actually last a little longer, as long as the lobes and everything are in the same position and the same duration and the same lift. We should be good. So yeah, I guess I'll end today right here, put this parts away, and I'll come back at it tomorrow. We'll get the side cover off and look at the cams, look at the in play, and get the head off. Yeah, get the head ready to. But until tomorrow, adios.